Did you guys see the countdown when I did?
Yeah.
I was like, well, okay, I'll stop right a second. Right? We don't. Kyle's here. What's up, Kyle? So, yeah. Kyle, you got a camera, brother? You got his wife too.
Have you ever heard of Adipex?
Of what?
Adipex?
Adipex? It might just be like another name.
It could just be like the generic. They probably don't have generics yet, do they?
They don't. But by the way, like for example, semaglutide is, it's originally what is it, a diabetic drug, right? And or was it Ozempic? I think they both are actually. But anyway,
no, not wait. Is it Adipex? Amphetamine.
Anyway, one of them is about to come off the market, right? Because there is this massive lawsuit going down because it's not meant for that, and it infringed on the patent or something like that, and they're going to win, right? But it's a matter of time. So it's one of those things where you have to take advantage of it while it's there, right? Like it's very, very important. Like while you have it available, there's nothing wrong with using it for that. But the thing is, like because of the patent, then they're able to take it off the market, right? Because it's FDA approved at this point for weight loss, which is amazing. Right. But at the same time, what kind of sucks is like they're getting sued, so
right. Yeah.
And they're losing, and the original patent is winning. So
I think the thing is called Phetramine. So that's like a weight loss pill.
It sounds like a stimulant.
Yeah, dude. It literally makes you feel like you're like on not crack, but like high levels of coke. Like you're just like
crack light.
You forget to eat. You don't eat. You don't like. You literally have to like force feed yourself because you're just like, ugh, no. But I took that and I dropped like crazy.
What's up, Kyle?
What's going on, buddy?
What's up, man? Hey, let's turn this into like a podcast kind of thing. We can use it for later.
Sure.
That's what it looks like this is going to be, right?
Yeah.
But let's kind of dive into some of the details of on the community. And the first thing I want to start off with, obviously, this started off as mainly bodybuilding, but we realized that this, like the benefit of this, is for everybody because it's it can help anybody either get in shape, improve their health, lose weight, bulk up, cut, contest, everything in between, right? And I think, well, I know we are the only guys out there that can legitimately offer a 100% money back guarantee because of the fact that we do have access to the physicians that are partners in this program, right? And they're the ones that are able to offer, just like what we were talking about, like Ozempic or semaglutide, for example, right? We can guarantee you're going to lose weight, even if you didn't do cardio and you were on those drugs, like 100%. Like there's just no way, right? And it'll even say that in their contract, right? There's no freaking way that you won't. It's impossible. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you've got to know what to do alongside it. You can't just take the drug and just like go off and, I could do whatever I want. I could eat whatever I want. And, nothing's going to happen. Well, you may drop weight, but you may be creating like a storm of unhealthy habits that are going to destroy you long term. Right. So having guys like Kyle and Billy on your side and the other coaches, Armando and Cody and Thomas and Joe, all these combined with, the pharmacist, nutritionist, the physicians we have on board, the blood work, everything combined. I mean, we're set up basically to help people not only hit their goals, but surpass them and create longevity in the process, which I think a lot of people miss. It's like they're not thinking about that right now, obviously, especially if they're younger. But if they're not 30 years old yet, they're going to feel it, when they are 30. If they're not 40 yet, they're going to feel it, and so on. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to hurt. But look, I didn't take care of my health from the time I was like 26 to 30 years old. And that was because I had like this is a story for another day, but I had an ex-business partner of mine rob me blind of $4 million and put me $2 million of debt, right? And I didn't have credit cards, didn't have income. I went back, like I started in real estate at 19, so I went back and did what I knew, made money, right? But because of that and the pressure, that's all I focused on. So my cortisol was sky high. My testosterone absolutely got destroyed. It got tanked. I mean, my body composition was crap. And no matter what I did, I could not lose fat at all. And I'm talking about this is up to since last summer. Like no matter what I was eating right for 2 years and I was working out consistently. My body fat stayed the same. And I still felt like crap. I looked like crap. Like nothing changed. Nothing. The only thing that changed is I tore both of my rotator cuffs, tore my bicep, had tennis elbow in both of my elbows, right? Tore my lat, right? I had already torn my chest, like my pec, like really, really bad, right? So I had all these injuries that come to find out it was all because of my testosterone level. Yeah. Every bit of it. So all I did, the only thing I changed was I started getting TRT, right? And then dropping fat like this, body composition changing, being able to get up early in the morning again, no brain fog, nothing. Like it was just like, I felt like I was supposed to feel. That's the only thing that changed, right? And I think even with females, like the hormone imbalances with everything going on is huge, right? I mean, Jackie can speak to this. When like my wife can speak to this.
Yeah.
They had to put her on some type of inhibitors because of a hyperplastic cell. Like she was at risk for uterine cancer, right? Substantial high risk. So they had to put an IUD that had estrogen and progesterone and all that crap in it. And oh my God, she tells me like it feels like there's lightning in her head. Like her temper was for a long time until her body balanced herself out, and they got her on the right meds for the hormone imbalance. It was so destructive. Like it was. And look, this isn't just with her. This is with everybody. But because I know I'm in the medical field, I know every physician in this city. I know 350 Muslim doctors like alone in this city, right? I know who to talk to. But the thing is, most people don't know who to talk to, right? So they live with this crap thinking that it's normal or there's nothing they can do or just they're afraid to talk about it, right? So that's why I wanted to introduce that aspect in the community. It's like, dude, you're not only getting like fitness, coaching, meal planning and all that stuff, but more importantly, you're getting the medical aspect. Just like every little disclaimer that you see on every label, on every workout website, everything, consult your physician first. How many people actually consult their physician first? Nobody. But if you have a calendar link and you join the program, and all you got to do is click a button, you jump on the calendar and you jump on a little Zoom call for a couple of minutes, right? You're a lot more likely to do it, especially when they know what you're going to do. They know what community you're a part of. They know what to look for, right? So, but yeah, I want to let Billy, Kyle, I want to let you guys introduce yourselves and just give us a little background about yourselves.
Go ahead, Billy.
Sure. All right. I'm Billy. I've been in the fitness industry for 17 years now, lifting weights seriously for 18. I got introduced to bodybuilding just because my lifestyle was shit. I was in bad shape. I drank a lot, stupid stuff like that. But I come to find out after competing naturally for several years that the reason I was feeling like shit for so long is I didn't make enough testosterone. My test levels were roughly about 100. We had 3 draws. They're all around 100. So, of course, the only option at that point is testosterone replacement therapy. And I'm not kidding, within like 6 weeks, I felt like a completely different person. I went from not being able to lose fat to my bench press going up like crazy. My squat basically tripled within a year because it was bad. It was bad. After I dieted down as a natural, 2 plates felt like it was trying to lift the world. So it really just made a huge impact on my life. So I've studied rigorously about the way that compounds work within the body, all the health effects, how certain compounds work synergistically. So I don't have a medical degree or anything, but I do like to think myself to be pretty well versed when it comes to blood work, when it comes to managing health risks that many folks kind of just brush aside when it comes to bodybuilding, because fitness in general is not safe if you're doing it incorrectly. So I'm just super happy to be a part of this community so we could help people do it the right way.
Absolutely. Appreciate that, man.
What's up, guys? I'm Kyle Miller. So I started training about 15 years ago. And like a lot of people, I started off getting my gear and my stuff from Basement Joe. And when I finally come off the gear 3 years ago, I did a PCT that I thought was proper, that I thought that I should have did. So 6 months later, when I went and got my blood work, my levels were at 132. I weighed 278 pounds. So when I finally got with a doctor, and got my right TRT set, within 3 months, I was down to 225. You can see my transformation pictures on my Facebook. It was like night and day. I didn't have no energy. I couldn't sleep. I didn't want to do nothing. I wanted to sit on the couch. I couldn't spend time with my family. But getting with the right doctor was the best. I've had bad doctors. I've walked in and they're like, hey, well, what do you want to start on? You know, if I want to start being a bodybuilder, don't ask me that. You know, sky's the limit. But we started doing blood work, and my body reacts good to low levels. I'm on 1.5 2 times a week. That's around 600 milligrams. My low end testosterone runs around 4,300 now. And it's still a little high dose, but we started training 3 years ago, you know, getting competitive, and we want to go on, keep pushing, get our pro cards. So this format we're starting and I'm being a part of, I love it. It is amazing, especially for people's health, man, woman. It doesn't matter the age, you know, it is going to be a major format, and I'm excited to be a part of it.
Yeah, man, I'm kind of surprised that nobody's done this before us. Like, I legitimately, like, when I found, you know, they call this a blue ocean, right? When you have an opportunity that is such a massive opportunity and nobody's tapped it yet, right? When it's unheard of to combine a medical staff that's going to be constantly evolving alongside professional bodybuilders, nutritionists, IFBB pros, all together to collaborate and formulate the best plans for each individual, right? So I do want to go over a couple of details of the community as well. So they're going to get, the members will get 5 to 7 live trainings a week. Those are going to be in the private Facebook group for the paid members. They're going to get a 1.5 year access for the first 100 people that do join. And especially for the webinar, typically we'll select around 1 person that'll get a lifetime access for the same price as somebody that pays for a 1.5 years. And now, obviously, because this is a pre-launch, it's 60% off of the actual fee that's going to cost actually, or the investment to get into this. And I call it an investment because you are investing in your own health. Like, honestly, if you're spending $3,000 to get into this community and it saves you from countless complications, hypertension, heart disease, you know, the complications of just obesity in general, you know, renal failure, cholesterol, all these different things that impact your quality of life. If you get to spend X amount of more years living a high quality life with your family, I think that's obviously a pretty substantial bargain, especially when it comes with that guarantee. And we can like fully back that. And the only reason we can fully back that is because we have the medical staff. Anybody else that tells you, hey man, I'm a personal trainer, I can give you a money back guarantee, that's total bullshit, because they can't. They don't have the even the legal requirements to give you medical advice. Right now, you know, they may have a lot of experience. Like Billy has a massive amount of experience. He can give you insight and a very professional opinion, but his opinion will also be backed by medical doctors, right? By physicians, nurses, nutritionists, and everybody in between, right? It's the only community that'll be able to say that. And you'll have daily access where you can chat with the team in general, right? You could chat with the medical staff, with the pros, and with anybody on the team, right? So I think all of that combined, I mean, I don't know, like there's no competitor. You can't tell me, oh, well, these guys are offering this. Nobody's offering this. So like we're trying to essentially offer this as cheaply as we can to get as many people on board to make sure it's as accessible as possible before some knockoff comes out and tries to do the same thing, and they won't be able to catch up. They're not going to be able to catch up. There is absolutely no way, right? So if you are seeing this, whether or not it's live, we are going to be doing this a lot live, but whether or not it's live, you can always reach out to us. Jackie will probably be in your DMs somewhere, somehow, some way, or at your doorstep. She finds a way.
Jackie's everywhere. I didn't know this. She's everywhere.
All right.
I mean, she may even be messaging you from somebody else's profile. I mean, it might be Kyle, but it might be Jackie at the same time. You'll never know. You know, like it's just, you know. But if you guys have any questions, we do have the free Facebook group that we just launched today. That will be I'm going to throw this up in the free Facebook group, right? And of course, you can ask questions in there about how to join and things like that. So, do you guys have anything else that you wanted to add to this?
So many men and women do not understand or don't even realize how their hormones controls their whole lifestyle. If you can get that on track and then with everything else proper, they're going to have a better lifestyle. I mean, life is going to be so much better when your body is functioning the way it needs to function.
Absolutely. I think, one of the biggest things this community is going to do is to remove that entire stigma of, getting on anything. Because again, like we can, like, depending on what your goals are, our physicians can get you essentially on anything that is good for you, right? Peptides, different, peptides that fit whatever it is that you're trying to do, different bodybuilding protocols, if that's what your goal is. If you want to, gain substantial amounts of mass, we can help with that. But more importantly, you're doing it safely. Right. So anything we offer you, it's only going to be by the books. It's only ever going to be legal sources. You're never going to get Basement Joe. If you guys haven't seen that video, you will. Trust me. You're not going to get Basement Joe. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. Like Billy did a great job with that. I'm not gonna lie. That's amazing.
But it's true though. That's the sad thing about it. And when you buy something from across seas or something that's not legal in the U.S., you don't know what you're getting, and you don't.
I mean, dude, we just found this. Jackie found an entire scam group. Like, we've been looking at it for the last 4 days. He keeps changing the group name, right? But he tried, we reached out to him to kind of help with his group. And I noticed something off about him very quickly. He called himself an MD, number one. That was the biggest red flag. Like, cool, what's your license number? And what states are you licensed in? Totally ignored it. Then he had like a video of him walking through this pharmacy with all these anabolic drugs everywhere, right? And that was the second red flag. Third red flag was he kept calling himself, he's a businessman that's very, very, busy and very difficult to get a hold of. And I was out with my family yesterday, and he goes, "Hey man, what are we doing? Like, are we going to talk?" And I was like, "Hey man, it's Saturday. I'm with my family. If you want, maybe sometime after 9 o'clock tonight, for a couple minutes." He's like, "Man, I don't have time for this. I'm very busy. You can find a place to call." And I was like, "Okay, bye. I'm done." And then he turned around and actually promoted Jackie. This is the funniest part. So Jackie sent him this story after that. He's like, "Yeah, something happened with his family. He's out hunting for the Loch Ness Monster." And he goes, "Oh my God, I didn't know that happened, but I love the way that you do business. I want you to moderate in this group." And I was like, "Are you serious?" He promoted her.
It was
The sad thing is, like,
I said that you lost your whole family and you're dealing with a lot today. So when you said you were spending time with your family, it's because that you were basically, you lost your whole family while looking for the Loch Ness Monster. And I didn't say monster. I just said Loch Ness.
So she has, she's a moderator in this group now. So she saw that there was a list of blocked people. So she started reaching out to them. "Hey, why were you blocked?" And every single one of them that responded said, "Well, he scammed me out of money. And as soon as I paid him, he blocked me from the group. And I couldn't find the group, and he changed the name of the group, so I can't call him out."
And then got mad. He started getting pissy with me because I was messaging people that had already been messaged by him. He's like, "Don't message my clients." I'm like, "Well, why did you make me a moderator then? Like, I'm trying
clients
to
or victims."
Yeah, they're my victims. You can't. You're going to save them.
Yeah. But in the grapevine, I basically found that out. So I don't know what to do with it, with this knowledge yet, but he's going down.
Yeah. So the thing is, the reason I brought that up is because, because we have the team that we have, essentially, that you'll never have that problem because anybody we use has already been vetted. Right. So there's no chance that it turns out that, that dude's going to scam you, or that dude's going to give you something that's not healthy, or whatever. Like, what you're going to get, everything that you get is going to be like our main pharmacy is a compounding pharmacy. They're licensed in about 20 states, but we also have pharmacies that are licensed in 50 states. But we also have the pharmacies that our own coaches use, like Kyle and Billy and everybody else, the doctors that they use. Right. So there's an endless source there for you. And you get I forgot to mention, you get the doctor consults every 90 days. You get the blood work review every 90 days as well, right? You can pay for more if you wanted more, but at the same time, those are included, right? You get every 90 days, you get a consult to make sure that, your hormone levels are still balanced. Like if you are on TRT, that you're, whether or not you need to donate some blood, depending on how high of a dose of TRT you're on, right? And if you're losing hair, like my first dumbass doctor put me on an estrogen blocker in the beginning, and my estrogen was fine, and then it dropped to 0, right? Because he just put me on it. He didn't, he put me on an estrogen blocker the second I started TRT, right? And my estrogen wasn't even high. It was like 45, right? It wasn't bad, and it dropped to 0. Like the next blood work, it was 0.
Yeah,
Every
that's a
time, go ahead.
sorry, real quick. That's a red flag. So anyone who's listening, if you're a doctor, and I'm not trying to bash on other doctors, but if you're on TRT and your doctor immediately started you on an aromatase inhibitor, that's a red flag.
You don't
need
know if you
blood
need it.
work. You
You know
don't know
what
if
I'm
you need it. Personally, I can run up to a gram of testosterone. I don't recommend this at home, kids, without needing an aromatase inhibitor, without needing it. Once I get over that point, then I'm definitely going to need something to help control estrogen. But think about that. So if you're on 150 milligrams of doctor prescribed TRT and you take an aromatase inhibitor, for me, I'd be just like you, Hamza. I'd be 0. That'd be
You
it.
don't, at 150 milligrams, that shouldn't even be in the back of your mind. You should do your 3 months, do your blood work, and let your doctor tell you. Every 6 months, I have to adjust mine a little here and there. Everybody's going to be different. But 150 milligrams, I wouldn't even imagine taking an AI. You don't need that. When you raise your estrogen, and that's defeating your purpose and your goals of what you're trying to do with your body.
Yep. Yep. And real quick, can I touch on that Basement Joe thing real quick? Just because I think this is super important for everyone to hear. The reason I was inspired to make that is because, just like Kyle said, this happens all the time. So if you're buying gear from an UGL, you don't know what you're getting. Okay. I can't tell you how many times people have been like, "Hey man, my DECA isn't working." I'm like, "Well, you probably don't have DECA. You're probably just shooting up vegetable oil, or even worse, someone's like, "Oh man, I'm getting a lump and everything like that." These guys don't know how much BA or BB to actually put in there, but our pharmacists, they know what they're doing. They're filtering the stuff. It's all made in a professional setting, a laboratory. Basement Joe just picked his ass hair and then freaking used no gloves and didn't even filter the gear, right? So he might have even sneezed in it. You don't know. You're getting pathogens injected into you. So you don't even know if you're spending money on that, you very well could be losing money in the long run, even though the gear is cheaper. You might not be getting what you're actually supposed to be getting, and then you're actually just throwing money out. So going with us, you're going to have the doctors supervising you. You know that what you're getting is what it actually is, and it's clean. And of course, it's backed 100% money back. So I think it's a no-brainer myself.
If you stick with the protocols that all of us are going to be giving people, if you stick with that, you're going to get results. That's why we can back you up 100%. The results are not going to happen overnight, but every month you're going to be seeing more and more. You will get results. There's no way you're not going to get results.
Yep.
Absolutely. I appreciate you guys for jumping on here. And I'm kind of glad we made that change and opened this up to the entire community. I think, we were definitely alienating some people, so I think this was a much needed change. But we'll go ahead and wrap this up. Do you guys have any closing words, or we're good to go?
No, just excited to see, more people come join the community so they can, get that physique that they want or improve their health. And that's what we're here for.
Our company is going to be continuously evolving and becoming better and better and better because with we learn.
Yeah, with me at the helm, I'm very OCD about that, which is something I didn't mention, by the way, is that, people are going to be getting accountability forms every week that I'm going to, this is how we evolved our last community really, really quick. We would literally make changes by the week. And the way we did that is we send these forms out. And at the end of the form, there was 2 questions. One that said, what did you like that we do best? And where could we improve? And what, essentially what could we add? And that was the only thing I read on the forums. The rest of it was for them. Like, how do they do, as a CEO, like how do they do and everything. The coaches read that, right? Like, if they're having issues, whatever, like with their program, or they're not having consistency. I didn't read that, right? Like, I went to the end because I wanted to know what I could do to make this better for them, right? and I made changes every single week based on that. Like, we ended up at the end of it, we ended up building an app instead. Like, we from the ground up. That's what we did. We just ended up just hiring developers, and we built an app to do what we needed to do. Because at first we had like different places that people had to go, and it just got really complicated for them. And then we went to Microsoft Teams, and that was a mess onboarding. Like, we had to have full-time onboarding staff, and it was just a nightmare getting people in there, right? So we're doing it simple this time. We're going to do the private Facebook community.
Yeah.
You know, because the app couldn't, the one we built and paid for, we could not get it to do what Facebook already does. Right. And it was just another thing people had to download and like remember their logins to. And like, if they disappeared from the community a bit, they couldn't remember what it was. Right. And then I'd get some random DM from somebody I don't know. Like, hey, man, I used to have this. Do you know what the app is called? Like, I don't know who you are. Like, what app? Right. But yeah, that's it. That's all for me, guys. And I'm going to stick this in the Facebook group. Jackie, you can send this link to people that also missed the call too.
Okay.
And maybe feel that just...
that.
What's up?
Eric was asking about that right before this call. He asked if I could just send him the recording.
Yeah, just send them the link. There's going to be a link that they can jump on the recording for, I believe. Yeah, they can check it out. And I'll let you guys know when we're going to do another one. It's probably going to be on Tuesday or so. I'll let you guys know and see who wants to jump on, and we'll take it from there.
Okay.
Cool. Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.
Take care.